Hey, thank you so much for taking a minute to look at my YouTube video. My name is Caroline Mathis. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty here in Reno, Nevada. What I do every month is kind of go over what's going on in the market in real estate in Northern Nevada. My focus is in Sparks and Reno, but I do go outside. We can go down to Carson, and we'll also go down or out to Fernley. This first slide says that our median price is $405. It rose a little bit from last month. Normally I expect it to even go down a little bit further. Not everybody wants to put their house on the market when January comes around. You're still taking down Christmas and just getting back into the swing of things. But you can see how much we went up. We went up even further in January than we were in as far as the price in the past 13 months. We didn't do that until July. We're neck and neck with July's numbers. Isn't that something? This is the number of days to contract. We only dropped down just a few days from December's days to market or days to contract to the number of days in January that it took to get an accepted offer. Average day to contract, you can see that it's bubbling just about 60 days thereabouts. A little bit, this is by price range, but look at that number at the 1.5 million. They must be shopping or over in Europe enjoying life, and they don't want to come to Reno right now. But there's 258 days before they expect to get an acceptable offer. This slide is a little bit interesting. Notice the gray. The gray is our inventory. Look how we keep on dropping. November, over 1,000 homes were on the market. Now in January, we have less than 700. You can see the little red marks in December. Those are new listings that's come on the market. So there were about a little over 250 homes in the Reno Sparks area that came on the market. Versus January, look how much. We've had a great winter so far. 444 homes came on the market just in January. But as you can see, our inventory keeps on dropping just a bit. This is months of inventory per the past 13 months. So look at this. We not even 2 months worth of inventory. It's quite amazing. Months of inventory for homes on sale by price range. You can see they're lower, the 400, the 500. The million point five are above the balanced market. A couple of months ago, if you check out a couple of past videos I did, they were even a little bit closer to that balanced market. Right now, balanced market is usually about 6 to 7%, months of inventory that we have. Look at this, we're way below. I also like to take a minute and kind of do an overview of across the United States. This is the past 12 months of inventory. Because we're looking at across the United States, it takes a little bit longer for us to tally numbers up. So this is as of December last year. There were 3 months of inventory across the United States. That number has not been heard of, if you can believe that. Just as I said, right now, the total number of homes for sale, is 1.4 million homes. The last time we had that was clear back in 1993. And as I said, 3 months of inventory has never been seen before in all of the time that they've been watching the market. It's an interesting time we're living in right now. But let's get a little bit more information about that. Let me see if I can give you maybe the reason why I'm thinking this is happening. If you look at these per decade, we went all the way back to the 60s. And about the average home new construction is right about 45,000 per million people in the United States. All right. So you can see in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we just finished 2010. So 2010, look at this, we were more than half of the new homes building than we have been in the past, 50 years. Part of that is a lot of people were afraid that we could have another recession. They were so afraid that the lenders, the types of loans that buyers were getting were going to be just as bad as they were in the earlier 2000s. But that's my thought, is we've only had 20,000, little over 20,000 20,000 per million people, homes being built in this area. I know in the Reno Sparks area, we have a lot of people coming into our town. I am going to have an event at the end of February that's going to show us all about the different new building and new approvals that we have in the Reno Sparks area. We're going to also talk about roads, how we're going to get around now that we're going to have all of these people. If you're interested, please contact me at the email below, or just message me and I'll get you an invitation, okay? Months of inventory, we talked about this. Now we're at 3 months. Look at how this just goes up and down and up and down. Even the peaks aren't as big as they used to be. I'm gonna dive into the Reno Sparks area. Reno proper is up 6% to $430,000. That's a medium price home. It's gone up 13% from last year of the same time. The number of homes that we did sell in January went down 29%. We had 253 homes that sold. The number of listings went up 76% from what we listed in January. So there were 316 homes that came on the market. So we're trying to catch up. In Sparks, the average median price home is $369,000. You can see that the number of solds that we had for last month was 124. That was up 42% than what we were in January of 2019. The number of active homes that are on the market is 171, but if you look at that again, over to the left, it's down 48% than what we did last year. The market is just definitely different. So if you're thinking about moving up or moving down, call me. We'll get your house on the market and find you a new place. We only have 1.4 months of inventory in Sparks. Nobody else puts house on the market, excuse me, then that's all we'll have is 1.4 months of inventory. I'm gonna go out to Fernley for just a few minutes. I've been lucky or blessed to have a couple new clients that are interested in that area. Look at the average price, $275,000 is the average price. The number of homes that were sold in Fernley last month were 38, but the number of homes that went under contract was 64. That's up 73% than it was in January. They have new builders there, and the product that they are creating and the communities that they are creating are sort of very impressive. Talk to me about this. If you're thinking that you would love to be able to be in a house and start getting into the appreciation and seeing that your homes go up, Fernley may be a good spot for you to get into the market, okay? Driving down to Carson City, their average price is right in the middle there, $357,000. They went up about 5%, and the number of homes that they sold last month were 60. It was down about 33%. So Carson City is another viable place where you could go and get into the market and be able to still be able to commute into Reno Sparks and have your work. I'd like to, since the prices have gone up so high, I'd like to give you another avenue that I would want you to consider at least. Although I want you to watch for those HOA fees. We have to consider that as part of your payment. But this is something that you might consider. $246,000 is the average price, and the number of homes, townhomes that are available is only 134. That's down 42% from last year this time. We did jump big time as far as the number of homes that are townhomes that came on the market, 88% to 102 that were homes that's come on the market in January. Still, we have less than 2 months of inventory, down about 39% of what we were last year. We've kind of touched on this a couple times throughout last year. People were worried about a recession, and they're thinking that there would have been a really good possibility that in 2020 that we could in fact go into a recession. Back in 2018, when the economists got together, they were thinking, about 67% of them thought for sure that by the end of 2020 that we would be in a recession. Back in October of 2019, those same economists were asked again. They thought back in October maybe 34% of a chance of us going into a recession. Now, just this past month in January, they were asked again. Look at this, 14% think that maybe there's a chance by the end of the year that we could be in a recession. That's a big question mark, and I think we proceed and just keep on going, and one foot in front of the other, and let's get you into a home. Want to talk about mortgage rates just ever so slightly. We've gone down again. It's crazy. We were clear back in 2016. We were thinking we were all that at 3.97. This past month, 3.45. Can you imagine that? 3.45 would be your interest rate. A good, if everything aligns just correctly, you could get a loan for that much, or that little, I guess, as far as interest. This is an overview of the next year. You can see on this graph that only the National Association of Realtors back over in 2021, they're thinking possibly 4% would be the interest rate. Everything is below 4%. As it's amazing, you stop and think about it. Yes, prices have gone up, but the interest rates keep on going down. And so it may seem like you're going to spend like a lot for your home. And I will tell you, yes, that's a lot of money for your home. But when you have an interest rate this low, you're in this really sweet spot to get a home. I want to take a minute. I want to go back to Fernley just ever so quickly. Average price that we were looking at for new builds was about $310,000. This is a scenario I just want to throw out there for you. If you had a down payment of 10%, you would be $31,000. Your payment would be approximately $1,800 a month. In Fernley, brand new home, 3-bedroom. Reno, with the average price being $405,000, your 10% down payment is $40,000, and your payment is $2,350. I'm just thinking out loud, at $550 each month that I could save, I can be in a new home out in Fernley. Maybe I'm fortunate enough that I work from home. It's something to think about. Let's get together and discuss the opportunities that you have out there. My name is Caroline Mathis, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions at all, please contact me. Until next time, have a good February.